Katowice, Poland is home to Legendia, the first stop of many on our long cross-continent trip across Europe. While here, I got to ride Lech Coaster, the 2017 Bermuda Blitz from Vekoma. Lech Coaster is renowned for its positive G's, intense layout, and overall aggressiveness. But does it live up to the hype? Find out in today's review of Lech Coaster. Lech Coaster begins with a right-hand turn out of the station into the 131-foot-tall lift hill. The first drop is stellar. Combining an abrupt yet sustained pop of ejector airtime with aggressive laterals is always a good way to start a ride. It very much reminds me of the drop on Expedition G-Force, but with slightly more restrictive restraints. You then charge through the reverse sidewinder. Your body will feel this element. The pull out of the first drop and all throughout this whippy element is one of the most powerful and sustained moments of positive G's I have ever felt. And you'll still be graying out when you enter the first S-hill of the ride. The crest is super sharp, creating ejector airtime and intense laterals in every row. The camelback that follows is pure ejector bliss, but as soon as you hit your seat, you'll be rolling through the demonic station flyby. This snappy element does not fail to skew your sense of direction. And without losing steam, Lech Coaster powers through an intense overbank that will pin you to your seat. To me, this element marks the end of the first half of Lech Coaster. The second half is a spaghetti bowl consisting of a corkscrew, tight turns, and airtime hills that constantly alternate between squishing you into your seat and yanking you out of it. By the time you hit the brake run, you will more than likely be disoriented by all the different forces that were just enacted on your body. Despite its intensity, Lech Coaster is very re-rideable. In fact, I got 12 rides on it before tapping out. There are a couple factors contributing to this. For one, it's smooth as glass, a shock for those who have only ridden terrible SLCs and boomerangs. And two, there are a couple moments where you can take a breather, and for me, that's not a good thing. The corkscrew and outer bank don't really do that much in the force department, but don't worry, I think the rest of the ride has plenty of that to compensate. The fact that Lech Coaster had vest restraints was a bit of a concern for me. I was afraid they would feel similar to B&M vests, which are pretty terrible. Thankfully, these restraints are much more forgiving, and they allow you to feel every moment of airtime almost to its max potential. As far as seat selection goes, I slightly prefer the front row for the unobstructed view and slightly better airtime. Most of the ride rides about the same no matter what row you're seated in. I never had any trouble getting the row I wanted because most of the time there was no one in the station, and I heard it's like that almost all the time. And despite the low crowds and only running one train, the ops were very efficient at dispatching. And even though there was a language barrier, they were very friendly, and most importantly, didn't staple. Legendia also has a very lax camera policy, so with the chest strap, you can easily film on ride with no hassle from the ops. My final score for Lech Coaster is a 9.5 out of 10. Lech excels in being well-rounded. You heard me say airtime, laterals, and positive G's on multiple occasions throughout this video, and that's because Lech Coaster really has it all. It holds its speed consistently to the end, and despite a couple dead spots here and there, Lech Coaster overall leaves a good taste in your mouth and slides into the 17th spot in my top 25. I hope you enjoyed this bite-sized review of Lech Coaster at Legendia. I should be coming out with more of these representing my favorite coasters in my Europe trip. Subscribe to the channel to not miss out on any roller coaster content. Have a good day and keep on coasting.